3, 2, 1, action.
All right, so we're gonna go over this. That's a weird voice. That's a stage voice. I'll keep rolling with it. So we're gonna work on this worksheet here that says variables to rules, children. What do I mean when I say variables to rules? Essentially, what we're doing here is they're gonna give you sentences, and Katie, we're gonna turn these into math sentences. For some reason, we need jazz hands with this. Okay, more important. All right. There's going to be types of math sentences. This is what I want you to look at. The first type, okay, is a total type. Okay. When I say a total type, what I mean is it's going to be usually the real basic form. Everyone overlooks this. This is where people make their most mistakes. X plus y is equal to a total. How will I know it's a total? It will usually use the word total. Shocker. Piggy bank contains a total of 15 loonies and toonies. There's a total of 20 in the piggy bank. So when they say something like that, we can make two math sentences with that guy right there. We're recording right now. We're recording. Okay? So if we deconstruct that, piggy bank, 15 coins in total. Everyone's like, how do I turn that into a math sentence? This is wild. It's really crazy. X is an unknown amount of loonies, Y is an unknown amount of toonies, and the total is 15.
You were just getting bullied by others. You don't think it.
So that's it. Everyone's gonna overlook this. I'm telling you right now, this is where you're gonna make a mistake. You're still gonna make a mistake on it, okay? Because you're gonna overlook it and try and use more numbers and things like that. We call this one basic, or it always lands this time of the year. I always call this guy the pumpkin spice latte. Love that. This is real basic.
You're basic, so look at it.
As the girls that are basic, they order the pumpkin
We get it.
spice.
You said this one with us before.
Are
Now,
you
now
kidding me?
applause. It's not funny.
It's no one's ever laughed at it. I will keep doing it.
Stop
Okay.
reusing jokes.
Yeah, you're not
I
funny.
have material
We're
that I
gonna
will
do
use
it.
Kevin Hart.
at some point.
See, take us a new joke.
Are you? I'm Kevin Hart. I'm short, require a lot of attention, a lot of energy. Yeah, I guess.
Ego
Okay.
taller than you.
Yeah. So it then says there is a total of 20 in the piggy bank. 20 in the piggy bank. Well, wait a minute. Sometimes there could be a quality associated with this. So, Connor, what do I mean by this? Like quality associated with a total type? So it's either pumpkin spice or it's like some sort of quality. So in this instance, what matters, and they will oftentimes tell you this, the X is unknown amount of number of loonies, Y is unknown amount of toonies. It's super important that you know what X and Y is. So I'm just going to make sure that I label this. Number of loonies, number of toonies. Spelled toonies wrong. I don't even know how to spell toonies if that's correct or not. Girls, hey, how do you spell toonies anyway? Is it with the W or is it?
No, you don't know.
Is it just with the two O's?
It
Yes.
says it's
Huh,
right there.
I know it does. I don't trust it. Math teachers built this. We don't know how to spell. Any
You
hoodles?
should.
Should. Now that I know which one is which, when I say that there's some sort of like quality associated with like X, how much money or what's the value of a loonie? 1. Now, in this case, it's kind of annoying because we never really write the 1 up there. But where it does matter is, what's the value of a toonie? 2. So in this instance here, we're going to have 1x plus 2y is equal to $20. $20. Okay? These are real basic forms of total equations. Okay? Where this one starts to get tougher, and we won't see it for a while, but they've been putting it on every single exam the last 5 years, girls. Every single exam is a compare. And this is where I lose people. And I'm going to provide an example of the parking lot outside. And I'm going to put it this way. if I started out by saying X is number of cars and Y is number of trucks, okay? And I tell you right off the bat that there are a total of 30 vehicles in the outside parking lot, okay? That's really easy. That's going to be a total type, right? There's 30 vehicles outside, and I know all there are just cars and trucks. It would just be X plus Y is equal to 30. That's a total type. That one makes sense. But what happens if they say, and this is where you'll get tripped up, there are twice as many trucks than cars? How would you write that as an equation? I want you to think about it for a second. There were twice as many trucks than cars. So cars is X, trucks is what? Twice as many trucks than cars. How would you write that out? Where does the 2 go? It's a compare, so it's X on one side, Y on another, but I'm putting a number with one of them. You think 2Y because I said twice as many trucks.
Would it be to the power? No.
Well, not necessarily to the power, but McCoy, where your brain is going is where everyone's brain goes because the English language is super weird, okay? When we say twice as many trucks than cars, your brain wants to do what? Put the 2 with the trucks, right? Makes sense. But let's think about that mathematically. You know there's 30 total vehicles. If I said twice as many trucks and cars, and I write it out here, and I write out trucks is 20, and the other side I say cars is 10. Is that balanced as an equation? Totally off balance, right? If this is a teeter-totter, gentlemen, this is a teeter-totter, which way is it leaning? Going this way. So if I added the 2 on the trucks like McCoy said, and like every other kid before you had said, that would make this even more unbalanced, right? Hey, Devin, if I'm up there going over this stuff and I say it's super important, it's going to be on both exams, instead of talking to him, I'd probably just dial in. I'm not going to remove this. This stuff gets posted on the actual YouTube channel. Bear that in mind. Another reason why I do the videos. When I've got 10 and I've got 20 here, right? And if I put a 2 on this side here, that makes it more unbalanced. But what we are going to do is make the equation balanced. So where does the 2 go, McCoy? The 2 goes with the cars, because if I did 2 times 10, what do I get? I get 20 and I get 20. It's very weird because your brain wants to put it with the one that it says. So the phrase that students before you have said makes the most sense, and we can change it if you like. I'm going to walk by and ask you when you go, I'm not sure about this. Probably shouldn't give you this little hint, but I'll always say, give more to the one that has less. Give more to the one that has less. So if it said twice as many of this, give the 2 to the other guy. If it said 3 times as many as this, give it to the other guy. Okay? And the way the compare ones work is going to be either something X is equal to Y. X is equal to something Y. Sometimes they'll actually say X, you'll have to add it. Like there are 3 more of this than the other guy. Well, I'll have to give 3 more to the other one is equal to Y. X is equal to Y plus something. You can even use subtraction and things like that to kind of break it apart. But with compare, give more to the one that has less. This is the way it's going to work. There are rare exceptions where it's different. Emily's on one of them right now. We'll talk about when we get to it. It's very rare. I'd rather you get your brain wrapped around this than anything else. So for right now, take a look at the rest of these examples and see how they're written out, okay? And if they make sense to you. And then we're going to try some on our own, okay? These guys here. We won't solve for X or Y on them. We're just making the math sentences. This has also been on every exam where they will say, make the 2 sentences.